I'm a fan of, well, if you're a fan of wrestling, you should be a fan of carnivals, because that's where, pro wrestling came out of the days of the carnivals with the at shows, which was short for the athletic shows, where they would have these guys who were shooters. In other words, they knew how to fight, and they didn't have to knew how to wrestle or knew how to. So they would get on these stages and offer, whatever. If this is 100 years ago, $20. You only have to pay like a buck. $20 to any man who can beat me. And there'd always be these town tough guys, but these guys had these sugar holes. You want to explain what a sugar hole is?
Sugar hole, yeah. That Bob Roop made it famous on national television. But the sugar hole was it was usually a variation of a sleeper, no? And it was...
Right. They had these moves, no matter if if the guy working for the carnival, the actual wrestler was, 5'10" and 200 pounds. And now there's some guy 6'5", 300 pounds. They just had these moves. It might just be the way they grab their arm and, where they make these guys tap out. No one was getting that money,
right?
No matter what.
Yeah.
And boy, I would have liked to have seen.
Well, in some of the things I've read, they'd go double or nothing if on the rare instance that somebody got one up on them, and it's like a pool shark would do some of the same thing.
Well, and I had a friend of mine, and he's been mentioned in the podcast. My friend Jeff Smith, who was beautiful Jeff Smith, who I was friends with in the 70s, and he was the one that went to Joe Savage with me, and he had some experience. Now this is the early 70s. He had like a year or two experience traveling with the carnival.
Oh,
so this is like 72, 73, and they had these games. When you go to the carnival now, they have these games that are basically impossible to win.
Right.
You're throwing them down.
Right. Trying to get it on the bottle.
Right.
The ring on the bottle. Yeah.
or I don't know if I told this story on the podcast, but I'll tell it again. Or maybe I didn't tell it at all. Uncle Gunny. No,
I don't remember a fair story.
Uncle Gunny had a stand in Coney Island. It might have been his friend. But, Gunny says, told my father, Philly, remember my stand in Coney Island? He had the classic stand, and they still have it today at all these carnivals with the 3 milk bottles.
Okay.
And all you got to do is take a softball and knock the 3 milk bottles over.
Seems so easy.
It seems so easy.
Yeah.
Well, according to Gunny, this is in like the 40s or the late 40s before he hit the road to Texas. But he said there was a very big storm came into Coney Island. Practically hurricane style. Like what's going on now, like remnants of a hurricane. And there were like 70-mile-an-hour winds.
Wow.
And roofs were, rides got knocked down, roofs got blown off. When they went back after the storm, the only thing standing were those 3 milk bottles.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so the modern day is, I'll get back to Jeff. We're bouncing around here, but we're on the same track. Jeff told me when he used to work the carnival, and these were carnivals that traveled in the South, out in the Midwest, and they would have the carnival lingo for these completely rigged games were hanky panks.
Oh, really? That's new. I never knew that.
And so I'm like, well, what did they do? Well, he says, well, one of the guys had this thing called a razzle board. And I'm like, well, what's that? Well, it basically was a game where you're picking, it was a game of numbers and you're trying to get to the next level. And but there were no regulations. So like they let you win the first level for $1 for something that cost 10 cents,
right?
And the second level was $5, and it looked like there were some halfway decent items, maybe a cheese basket, but whatever it was, they were probably worth $1, and they would let you maybe win that. But on the top were television, televisions and radios and an air conditioner.
Yeah,
right?
Big stuff.
And I said, well, and then you'd have to pay for the next level, sir, it's $25. And so I remember saying to Jeff, well, they must have let someone win sometime. I mean, he goes, nope. He said they used to drive guys home to get more money.
Wow.
This is before ATMs.
Wow.
They certainly weren't taking checks.
Oh, my
God. Yeah. So
the razzle board.
The razzle board.